What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. As always, we are your host. I'm Taylor,
And I'm Ryler.
and this is your Monday Night Raw review for January 17th,
February
2000,
17th. Yes.
February 17th. Oh my goodness. I don't know where I don't know. I don't know where I'm getting January from. But
Time's
yes,
flying by
February.
that quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is really February 17th, 2025. And I mean, Raw tonight, it was your, typical Raw show. Well, I really can't say typical because the last few weeks they've been really good. And,
hmm
this week's episode of Raw, I don't think it was as good as those shows, but it did do what it had to do to build up towards the Elimination Chamber, which we are now 2 weeks away. So I mean, yeah. So we kicked off the show with, well, what do you think of tonight's show before we get into it?
A lot of transitional stuff. I mean, we're 2 weeks away, like you said, so we're building up to it right now. But there was a
Mhm.
lot to lay the groundwork for hopefully what is a good PLE at the chamber. We'll talk about the qualifiers, but we have some stacked matches on that card.
Yeah, yes, we do. And we actually got one announced to kick off tonight's show. So we had Sami Zayn. Good to see him back. We haven't seen him since 2 weeks ago on Raw when he had that qualifying match against CM Punk. And CM Punk did end up winning that match. And afterwards, Kevin Owens came out afterwards, attacked Sami Zayn from behind, hit him with a package pile driver, and we haven't seen Sami Zayn since. So then he finally made his return tonight just to address how he was feeling. He was had an injury that he had to come back from and heal his neck and his back, but he says that he wants Kevin Owens at the Elimination Chamber. Adam Pearce would come out and told Sami Zayn that he can't give him this match, and obviously that did get some boos from the crowd. And I think we all knew that at that point that we were going to get that
It was
match,
gonna
and
happen, of course. It's
yeah,
wrestling,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Adam Pearce said that. So if I do give you this match, then I can't do anything to stop Kevin Owens if he wants to wrap a chair around your face. I can't stop Kevin Owens if he wants to drag you up into the concourse and beat you senseless. I can't drop. I can't stop Kevin Owens if he wants to hit you with a package pile driver over and over and over again. And then he asked Sami Zayn, "Do you understand?" And Adam Pearce was like up at the top of the ramp when he was saying all this. So Sami Zayn got out of the ring and walked up the ramp to Adam Pearce and said, "Do you not understand that what I could do to Kevin Owens, I could wrap a chair around his neck and you won't be able to stop it. I could take him up in the concourse, beat his life till he's senseless, and you can't stop it. I could hit him with a package paw driver over and over and over again, and you can't stop it." So Adam Pearce did what was best for business, and at the Elimination Chamber, it will be Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in Toronto in an unsanctioned match, man.
This can be a
That right,
good match,
yeah,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
Already, man, already for this PLE, that is the match I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that Owens and Zayn, we get to see them have once again, hopefully, fingers crossed. But both them, both great workers. I think we are going to get to see another banger from them. And
Yeah,
Owens and Zayn, I'm telling you, for this generation, is like the modern day Cena versus Orton. You can see it no
yeah.
matter how many times you see it, they're just going to continue crossing paths. And I mean, you could go throughout literally now the past decade, they have been feuding in WWE, like since 2015. That's crazy. It's been 10 years. So we're going to get to
Hmm.
see another addition to this rivalry. And I don't know. I don't want to talk about who I think's going to win. I do have my thoughts in mind for it, but I will save that for the predictions. But I think the unsanctioned match is going to be fantastic and in Toronto. Now it's not in Where is it? Well, he's from like I think he's from. Aren't they both from Quebec? So they're not in the exact, but they're still in Canada. So they're gonna get some good reactions for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and there's going to be like, I mean, I've heard different numbers. I've heard 30,000 people. I've heard up to 60,000 people, but I think right now the number's at 30,000. So you
Uh
already
huh.
know that they're both going to get huge reactions, and you just know the crowd's going to be super into that match. And I mean, if it were up to you, would you have that match main event that show since it is two Canadian wrestlers and it is in Canada?
No, I would have the men's chamber main event, but I think it's good. I think it would be a very good opener.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I've already seen a lot of people on social media, and they're bringing up Randy Orton. Do you think we finally see Randy Orton show up in this match and help Sami Zayn, win? Or because
I think
I
we need to
feel
save
like,
that for the predictions.
yeah, but I just feel like we have to get to that, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I
I
mean,
feel like I feel
mhm.
like that's the end game one way or another. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also a lot of fans that are saying that, okay, well then are they going to run this back at WrestleMania? I don't think so. I
Yeah, I
think
don't
it'll
think so.
happen, but we can get into that at another time. So after that, so I mean, that was a great way to kick off the show. Sami Zayn promo. I will always enjoy Sami Zayn promo. I've probably said it here on the channel before that, but I think he is probably the best talker that they have right now in the
Yeah,
company. So
always makes
let's
his
see.
promo sound passionate. Yep.
Yes, yeah, and he did that once again tonight. So after that we had, I mean, AJ Styles, he's finally back in ring action. He took on Dominic Mysterio. It was an okay match for what it was. AJ Styles did pick up the win, but the big
Mhm.
thing that came out of this was what happened after the match. So, last week we had that stare down backstage between AJ Styles and Braun Breaker. Well, after this match, Braun Breaker like runs down to the ring. He's getting ready to spear AJ Styles, but AJ Styles turns around, moves out of the way, and then he spears Dominic Mysterio instead. Poor Dom Mysterio. He's wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
But and then they had a pretty intense stare down, and Braun Breaker threw his shirt at AJ Styles, and AJ Styles just like
Yep.
cleanly caught it.
Just like Roman Reigns, bro. Remember it's SummerSlam
SummerSlam,
2022 when Brock Lesnar he was
23,
like
no,
Brock
20,
Lesnar and he
22. Yeah.
threw the
Uh
mic
huh.
and Roman just one hand caught it, gave him a little smirk. It
Hmm.
reminded me of that, and when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, okay, we're gonna see stuff about this on Twitter."
Yeah, and we did.
Clean.
I mean, I actually saw like somebody uploaded a side by side video of those two exact moments of what happened tonight, and then that Brock Lesnar throwing the mic at Roman Reigns. So I mean, do you think we see this match on at WrestleMania? I think it's a little too late to add it to Elimination Chamber card, or do you think they just have this on some random episode of
I'm gonna be the devil's
Raw?
advocate. I think it's an okay Raw match.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking right now about how Raw's not very eventful. If we have AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker for the IC title on a Raw coming up, we're going to be talking about it for sure.
hmm,
So I just think Elimination Chamber, we have so many additions to it. I could see them doing it at WrestleMania though, but that's a little further away. I don't know if they're really gonna. Maybe they'll have some sort of screwy finish on Raw and then they'll do a WrestleMania rematch. I'd be okay with that because seeing Braun Breaker and AJ Styles, they need to be able to give their like their all in that match. So I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see where they go with Braun Breaker heading into WrestleMania, because I feel like there's a lot of directions for him to go into at WrestleMania, whether he's defending his title, maybe one on one or in a multi man match. Who
Hmm.
knows? But I think there's a lot of, I mean, there's a endless possibility of opponents for him at WrestleMania. So
Yeah. For sure.
After that, we had a women's intercontinental championship number one contenders match: Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. Dakota Kai did pick up the win. I really didn't get this at all because they've been building up Ivy Nile for the last like 2 weeks, where she's been like backstage talking to Lyra Valkyria, saying, "Oh, I'm next in line," and then she's in a number one contenders match, and then she loses. But then I was like, okay, well, the Creed brothers lost. Well, they lost last week their championship match. So Chad Gable ain't going to be very happy when he gets back from his whatever he's on. He's on his quest to learn the dark arts of lucha libre, something like that. So
American made, bro. You're washed.
yeah,
I'm sorry, bro. It's not
it,
working. I'm not gonna
yeah.
say it's not working, but yeah, it's been a fall from
Hopefully,
grace.
hopefully things turn around. But I feel like we've been saying this for months now, and
It is
come
what it is.
on.
I'm
I mean,
I'm okay with seeing Valkyria versus Dakota Kai though. Will be a good match if Dakota Kai can stay uninjured. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to throw shade, but last time I said that, no. Go back, watch the tape.
yeah, you said that, and then like 2 weeks later, she was injured. Well, she got a concussion, but
Yeah.
and there's
Mhm.
so after that, so Dakota Kai, she did pick up the win. It was an okay match. Gunther, he cut a promo. He actually came through the crowd like Jey Uso
Mhm.
would. They had another brawl here tonight, and you know, I'm it was kind of a copy and paste of what we saw last week, but I mean, 2 weeks into this build so far, and I they've got me hyped for their match at WrestleMania. And Jey
Uh,
Uso seems like
yeah.
he he's more like in his, he's not having to say yeet after every line. He's kind of like back when he was feuding with Roman Reigns going to SummerSlam 2023. He had a
Uh-huh.
lot more aggression in him, and that's what we got here tonight because he had a backstage interview with Kathy Kelly afterwards, and you could tell he was showing more of
Yeah.
aggressive side, and I kind of like when we get that from Jey Uso.
I'm not excited for it just yet, honestly. But at the same time,
Okay.
I think that there's still a lot more time left. I mean, it's until WrestleMania, so let me not for that dude in the comments that was not happy at me. I'm sorry. Okay, I still love Jey Uso. Yeet.
Yeah.
But
Yeet.
uh, I, I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see. Um, I'm hoping they
I
do
mean,
more to
no,
build to it. But we've
yeah,
seen it a lot of
I'm
times.
sure they will. I mean, hopefully we don't get this same thing every week. Hopefully we get
Yeah,
more added to it. But I just
it's
feel
a
like
good base.
yeah, but I just feel like there's not really a whole lot much left for them to say to each other.
Yeah.
So maybe
hmm
brawls all we got left, and like you said last week, maybe they can start using chairs in their brawls and stuff like
Doing some
that.
more
So
extreme stuff. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah.
I hope.
So yeah, we'll see. Let's see. After that, Penta, he continues his winning streak on Raw. I'm
hmm
just saying that he beat Pete Dunne once again. After that, we had a women's elimination chamber qualifying match, the final one. It was Roxanne Perez taking on Raquel Rodriguez. This was an it was decent. Roxanne looked pretty
hmm
good. Raquel looked, she looked pretty good as well. And Roxanne Perez, she has officially qualified for the women's elimination chamber match by defeating Raquel Rodriguez. Liv Morgan tried to get involved, but then Bianca Belair and Naomi ran down because what happened last week on SmackDown, it was revealed that Liv and
hmm
Raquel were the attackers of Jay Cargill, but they weren't, and then they
I
had to
did
go out.
it for The Rock.
True. So that allowed Roxanne Perez to pick up the win, and she's moving on to Elimination Chamber. Women's Chamber match looks pretty stacked this year. You've got her, you've got Bailey, you got Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Liv Morgan, and is that
Roxanne,
it?
right?
Roxanne. I said
Did you say
Roxanne.
Roxanne in the beginning? Okay, yeah. So it's pretty
Yeah.
stacked.
Mhm.
We've got one elephant in the room. No Io Sky. Sad times. But
I
besides that,
still, I still
it's
think,
that
you
card.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, I still think Io Sky's getting to WrestleMania. So
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I just don't know how they're gonna go about it. I thought it was weird to not at least include her in it, but maybe that's why. Maybe so it's like a fresh, like she gets less time, so when she goes back into it, it's more like fresh, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I do think it's gonna end in that too.
I kind of know how they can get into that, but I'll save that for the Elimination Chamber predictions. So
That's fair.
after that, we had the main event.
Hmm.
I mean, before that, we had a New Day segment that
Oh
not really
yeah.
much. I mean, not really much happened. They kind of just
Hmm.
honestly, I didn't even watch that segment. I had it on in the background, but I did not pay attention to it whatsoever.
So I kind of just had it on the background too. Honestly, I kind of zoned out and zoned back in and briefly saw it, and I was like, "Is this a recap from the week or like 2 weeks ago or something?" But it was. I was watching it a little bit, and what I will say about this segment is I do like how in current WWE now the heels at least have this they have this version of reality where they're heels. At least it makes sense sort of why they're being heels. Just the way
Mhm.
they're going about it is what makes them the heel. Because Kofi during this was basically talking about how like why do you guys respect Rey Mysterio and not me? Because like Rey, he's this older veteran, but Kofi's been in the company for longer, which I guess for like one consistent period. He's
Yeah,
been more
yeah,
active in the company. He's been doing more, but why don't the fans look at him like that? So I like that they added that aspect to it. But besides that, just continuing their usual like New Day, their heel stuff right now. And I think it's going pretty good, but I do want to see them get in the ring and like have some get a little bit more involved with that actual like physical. I think going into WrestleMania will be good.
yeah. Did the didn't the LWO come out in this segment? I think I heard their music.
They came out
What
and
happened?
they just came out and like ran to the ring and attacked him basically and got him out of the ring. There wasn't.
Oh,
I
oh,
don't think there was much else to it.
oh.
Before the main event, the one thing in between that I mean, won't talk for this for too long because there are, we'll talk about the main event. But Karrion Cross and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, um, man. Hopefully, I don't want to see that, but I know a lot of people do.
I would want to see
Um,
that.
but they
Just
laid the groundworks for it, man. We all know Sami Zayn's winning, so I guess if it's a
okay,
win
then
for
why
the
are you
people,
complaining? I,
because I want to see him have a better
people
WrestleMania
people are
match.
disrespecting Karrion Cross, man.
He, man,
People are disrespecting Karrion Cross. Di-
he's
I-
boring, bro. I'm
Dude, he
sorry.
is not boring. If you would, do you ever watch him like in his when he's backstage having like promos with other people? Because you have got to pay attention to those.
It's
He is so,
so it's hard listening to it, like, and actually, like, being like, "Oh, like, this man's speaking facts," when you know that it's all, like, empty words, you know? He's gonna lose this match. So, I mean, I guess he can talk about it's kinda like at one point, the same gripe I had with Bray Wyatt, where it was all this, like, buzzards and blah, 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 mystical talk or, whatever, and then he would
mhm.
just lose a rivalry. I love Bray Wyatt. I'm just saying the booking at one point kinda reminds me of it. And so but Karen Cross has no charisma, that's the issue. Um,
Yes, he does. Yes, he
okay,
does.
man, we'll see
He
how it
has
goes along. I
charisma,
just I
bro.
just wanted to mention that because that was right before the main event, but they're gonna build up along that. It was a short little thing going into it.
Me personally, I would like to see Karrion Cross and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. I
We'll
think they could
we'll
have a
see how
good
it goes,
match.
man. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So yeah, after that was the main event. It was the final men's qualifying match. You had Finn